announcing today that the United States will commit itself to an important new program in civilian aviation.
The day is June 5th, 1963, 57 years ago. On this day, President John F. Kennedy announced the launch of the United States' Supersonic Transport Program in response to the declaration of the purchasing of Concorde by Pan Am, the largest commercial American aviation company at the time. Kennedy was determined to preserve the United States' edge in aviation technology. The major American aviation companies at the time, however, did not have to begin work based on nothing. In previous years, specifically between 1959 and 1962, studies done by NASA were conducted to investigate 4 SCAT, or Supersonic Commercial Air Transport configurations. The SCAT-16 consisted of a swing-wing design, and the SCAT-17 featured a fixed delta-wing design that would later reflect most of the wing designs of supersonic airliners. Both of these configurations would lay the foundation for future designs. Several companies drew up plans for a supersonic airliner following Kennedy's announcement of the program. North American, Curtiss-Wright, Lockheed Martin, and Boeing. The FAA's requirements were ambitious, to say the least. A top speed of at least Mach 2.7, a required seating number of 250 passengers, and a range of 4,000 miles. All the requirements proposed exceeded Concorde's capabilities, and that was the goal: to be bigger, faster, and better than the Concorde. Only Lockheed Martin's and Boeing's designs entered into the design competition phase of the program. Lockheed Martin's design, the L2000, was a conventional one, with a fixed delta wing configuration, and was based off the SCAT-17. In contrast, Boeing's design, eventually designated the Boeing 2707, was far more ambitious. The design called for a supersonic top speed of Mach 2.7, as well as a large, complex swing-wing design, and it was powered by 4 General Electric GE4 JP5 turbojets, which each produced 63,200 pounds of thrust. The 2707-100 model would seat 277 passengers, 30 first-class seats, and 247 tourists. It was one of the first wide-body 232 seating arrangements for an airliner. The 247 tourist seats were planned to have retractable overhead TVs every 6th row, and the 30 first-class seats had TVs for each pair that was set in between each seat. When in the takeoff and landing phases of flight, the wings would be set in the forward position for low-speed handling, and when in the air at high speed, The wings would swing back into a swept wing position. Due to its ambitious and advanced design, the Boeing 2707 won the design competition, but problems immediately became apparent. The swing wing design made the aircraft too heavy to get off the ground, and the goal of a top speed of Mach 2.7 required the airframe to be built out of titanium, a metal that, at the time, was expensive and difficult to manufacture. Other engineering problems appeared as the 2707 was redesigned, but one problem plagued the program, just as was a problem for the Concorde: the concern of the sonic boom on American cities and the rising cost of the fuel used to power these aircraft. Eventually, concerns by the public and opposition by Congress led to the cancellation of the program in May 1971. But the story of supersonic flight does not end there. NASA is currently partnering with Lockheed Martin to develop the X-59, an experimental supersonic aircraft to test new techniques for producing quieter sonic booms, and the private company Boom Technologies is doing something similar with the XB-1 prototype. Both of these efforts are, as of writing this, not complete yet, but if successful, these two efforts could pave the way for a new generation of supersonic airliners. Someday, we may live in an era where supersonic air travel is not just existent, but common. And just like back in the 1960s and 70s, there needs to be several design and technical requirements in place. And one of those, due to the current threat of climate change, is these future potential supersonic airliners absolutely must be carbon neutral.